most important topics of return to India that NRIs and OCIs and Indian diaspora living abroad dread is the scourge of corruption and bribery back in India. And many have horror stories of dealing with corrupt officials, corrupt bureaucrats for basic government services. And those memories are the ones that we carry even when we travel abroad. Start from the time when a youngster is applying for an Indian passport. The passport requires a police verification. The police verification process has been streamlined over the years and digitized. But at the grassroots level, the guy who comes to verify the passport application of a youngster still demands a bribe. If the bribe is not paid, the file languishes and can lead to delay. And this is a pretty dreadful thing for a youngster hoping to travel abroad. So people just pay up and walk out. Now, those are the memories that youngsters carry of dealing with officials. And when you think of returning to India, these are the thoughts that are playing in your mind. And this is a common topic of discussion among Desis during Desi get-togethers, US, Canada, UK, and elsewhere around the world. How do I deal with corruption and bribery after returning back to India? So let me share my experiences after returning back to India with about five different topics that are of common occurrence all through our lives back in India. First and foremost is after you return, you want to get a driving license. The DMV office, or what they call the RTO, road transport offices, are strife with corruption. I had to go through this while trying to renew my driving license because I was over 40 years of age and my license was due for a renewal. And anyone over 40 needs a medical certificate from a government doctor. Now, where am I going to go running for a government doctor in a government office? What I did is I went to a local agent right in front of the RTO office. He promised that the application would be processed almost instantly if I paid a fees. Now that fees includes the bribe, of course, that goes to the official. And boom, the work was done. Likewise, if you are going to register buy a property or a rental deed, rental agreement, now that requires registration at the sub-registrar office. Sub-registrar offices across the country are known for bribes. No file moves there without paying a fat sum of fee. What most of us do is again hire an agent or hire a local lawyer who deals with those officials. And a part of the fees that you pay to these agents is the bribe. It's a given, and no ifs or buts. If you decide to build a house requires permits, requires approvals, and those approvals come at a steep cost. The reason is very simple. If you look around, say my neighborhood, there are zoning regulations that say a person cannot build a house of more than 4 or 5 floors. But many of my neighbors have built PGs of 6 or 7-story buildings. Not surprising, given that they have flouted the law. They have paid local officials a small sum of fee or a big. When it comes to college admissions, it's all over the place. You want your son to study medicine. You should be willing to shell out more than 2.5 or 3 crore rupees, about $250,000. Some NRI parents may decide, yes, the return on investment, ROI, is worth it and decide to shell out that money. And that's part of the last but not least, when it comes to say going to a place of worship, a popular place of worship like Vaishno Devi or Tirupati or some of the big Ganesha temples in Mumbai or Delhi. Paying for a premium ticket is par for the course. But on top of that, if you know a senior government official or a local political leader, you get a pass to beat that queue. You don't stand in the queue with 1,000 other people for half a day just to have the darshan. You just pay up or get that recommendation letter and boom, you. So I just wanted to share a few anecdotes about dealing with bribery, and officials at a lower level. Now, this is something that you will deal with on a day-to-day basis once you return back to India and start living here. And these are the kind of bribes that are not negotiable, not something that you can say, I will stand my ground and I will not pay. Because this is part of the system, it is so ingrained. And of course, if you decide to start your own business venture or your own enterprise, it's a totally different ball game because you will be dealing with licenses, permits, and say GST and tax regulations. And there, those authorities are known for bribes and corruption. You see the news articles of this almost every day, and it's part of the system. Now, I'm not here to justify this. I'm not here to say it's right or wrong because it is obviously wrong. But there's nothing we can do about it.